am girded.
And I am girded too. We got the girded amigos or amigas. Woohoo!
Amigas.
Amigas. So it's Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Nancy and I are really excited for our show today. And we have the lovely Sabrina from Tree of Life joining us. I think you said this is your first collab with
Second.
second collab. Okay, so we're the second, and we're thrilled to have her. And it says we've got 3 people already. We had Richleen already stopping in. She changed her name to Spiritual 222 Birds.
Ooh.
And my grandma loved birds, so I love that. So today, we always ask our guests what topic they would like to talk about. And we weren't quite sure what we're going to discuss. And Sabrina goes, well, how about, and I absolutely love this, how about we talk about what it means to be feminine? What is like the definition of feminine or femininity? And I thought, wow, that is awesome. So we'll give it, I see we have 6 people in the chat. So we have lurkers. Thank you for hanging out with us. And for those who watch on playback, be sure, again, thank you for watching us on replay, but make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our guest, Sabrina. All of her information, her links are in the description. And my Aunt Jo, my mom's sister, loved birds. Okay, so I guess we can get started. Let me see. So we are going to start with Sabrina sharing with us who she is and her channel. And so we'll start with there. And then I was able to got inspired to write a poem. And then we're going to do a collective reading to start the show. And then we'll start going into our topic. And then we'll start to, after we're done with that, we'll wrap up with some mini readings for anybody who would like one. And then again, we'll end with the poem that I shared. So, Sabrina, welcome and take it away.
Well, the first thing I want to do is I have to keep up with Nancy.
Oh my. You're looking good, Sabrina.
I'm looking good, but I can't see a damn thing. These are what I wear when I drive. And I get new glasses like every 25 years because my eyes don't change that much. So a year ago, I got these. They were the second pair. First pair I saw are these huge red cat eye glasses, and they're in Arizona, and I'm here, and I got these. So I said, boy, Nancy, I'm telling you, I'm going to keep up with you.
Let's see. Are these the same? Or are they different?
They're pretty close. Yours are red. I love those. My other ones are very similar.
It's kind of a purplish red. It's weird, the color. But I like these. These are so comfortable. I got
She's like the Elton John along with Miss Tara V.
Yes, but you know, I can see close up. I can't see far away. So with these big glasses, my other ones, I could just kind of look underneath if I was looking at the GPS.
Yeah.
These, I can't see the GPS at all, so it's kind of a disaster. But they were fun, so I said I want those. But anyway,
love it.
I don't know what you guys want to know about me. I
just introduce everybody to, it says we got 9 people. Maybe chat's a little slow on my end with people popping in and saying hi, but we have an audience. So share whatever you want about you, your channel. We'll just open the floor right up to you.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'll tell you how this all really started. I've been a fitness instructor, Pilates instructor for 8 million years, and I trained instructors, and I did that up until COVID. So it was my kind of way of helping people and guiding newbies along. And I haven't done any of that since COVID. So what happened was I ended up in Arizona half the time, and I'm teaching these big group classes. And when you teach a lot of groups, like 30% of the people don't pay attention. And, then another percentage is dwelling on your every word. But what I was doing is I was looking around the room, and I'm like, everything is so different that I'm not kind of mentoring instructors and helping them along and giving. You know what I mean by the whole giving thing? So I'm looking around the room and I'm like, this is not working for me anymore. I don't feel like I'm guiding people, helping people. I don't feel like I'm doing any good. I mean, you know, some people enjoyed class and that's great. But then the election happened, and that's all I'm going to say about politics because I don't want to talk politics because that will take me off in the deep end. So after the election, I had a lot of friends that were going off on the deep end and crying and crazy and what are we going to do? And I didn't have that outlet of training instructors or doing any of that. So I went on Facebook and I started doing these live shows of how to talk people off the ledge. And how can we cope with this collective chaos and the madness? And so I started doing that on Facebook. And in you know, maybe 6 months before that, I started watching all the YouTube channels. And you know, there's maybe about 20 different channels that we all kind of know each other.
Mhm.
And my friends are like, you got to go bigger than Facebook. And I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't know these people. All my friends are on Facebook. I don't know about this. So I finally just said, all right, just go do this. And where the astrology, tarot, runes came in is I was messing with this stuff 40 years ago. I had a friend who kept wanting my birth time and I kept blowing her off. And I'm like, I don't care about astrology. And so I finally got my birth time and I said, whatever you look up on astrology, it's going to show why I don't get along with who I'm supposed to get along with. Because I'm a Sag and Sag, Leo, Aries, you know, the fire signs, the air signs. But I'm always hanging out with Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, all the water signs because I have really any water in my chart. I'm all Capricorn with the crazy Sag sun. So anyway, she found all that out. Then I got around all the people doing tarot. And I started messing with tarot and I took a class. I still have my notebook from 1997.
Oh,
And yeah, it's crazy.
I
I
was
found
26.
all my tarot
Wow.
stuff. It just fell out of the
Yeah.
sky. And then I'm Norwegian. That's probably obvious. Blonde hair, Norwegian girl. But and the runes is what I'm really going to be focusing on here coming up. But so I hadn't looked at any of this stuff. And then I start giving these talks on Facebook, move it to YouTube. And I was in these Facebook groups about astrology, and somebody would throw a chart up. And I'd look at the chart and I'd go boom, 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 typed it all up and answered their question. And they're like, oh my God, how do you know that? I said, I'm a magician.
What about the magician card?
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
the magician
yeah.
card. But anyway, so and I'm like, and I did this over and over again, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Then I started pulling the tarot cards out again, and I'm looking at the tarot cards, and I'm reading them like, and it just, I don't
Came
know.
back.
I guess it's time.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can figure out is it's time, and it must be time because all this stuff is happening. So the little announcement that I'm really excited about.
And we don't even know it either.
No,
So
she
No.
wouldn't
very
tell
much
us.
for
We begged and
Well.
everything, and she said no, 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 no.
So do you all know who Susan Lynn is? Susan Lynn, psychic medium.
Yes, Susan. Yeah.
So this is just so funny how all this happened. And so I just recently got on her email list. I've been watching her channel, but I wasn't on her email list because I took a couple workshops with the FEFE and got on the email list. So she sends an email out about 2 months ago now. Okay. I read the email. It's all about her conference. This is her third year of doing Connect to Empower conferences. So I read the email and it's here in New Mexico. So I'm like, oh my God, it's in New Mexico, and I'm in New Mexico right now. So I immediately, in my exuberant Sagittarius, oh my God, let's do this right now.
Spontaneous.
So
Yep.
spontaneous combustion on many occasions. So I send off an email like, oh my God, I can't believe you're going to be in New Mexico. I live in New Mexico. Do you need anybody to do workshops? Do you need a volunteer? Do you need all this and that? And then I type it and I send it off. And then after I send it, I'm like, you are an idiot. This woman does not know you from a hole in the wall. Why you have like 2 people on your YouTube channel? Why would this was like the stupidest thing ever? Okay. So I don't hear it and I forget about it because I'm just like, well, you know what? You put it out there. They're either going to take it or they're not. So 2-3 weeks go by and I pick my phone up and I'm looking at my phone and they're like, we would love to have you as a volunteer. You're the first person that emailed us. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So I'm like,
I'm
okay,
fangirling.
so just tell me what to do. So then we have three more weeks go by. Susan Lynn wants to meet with you on Zoom. I'm like, what? Now to me, this is like a celebrity to me. She's a celebrity to me. So anyway, we meet up and then she decides that I'm going to do a presentation for her members. Ooh. November 4th. I am doing tarot and imagery. So about a week ago, they said, how would you feel about emceeing the convention? I'm like, what?
Well, your credentials.
So I'm just like, you guys don't even know me. I think you're absolutely insane. But yes, I'll do it. So anyway, and on top of all this excitement, and it's at the printers right now, I just designed all my own photography, a 60 card oracle deck. It's called the Land of Enchantment Oracle from Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's all photography from Santa Fe, and I will have it at the convention. But it's a print. It should be done by the end of the week. So I'm
That's
just
amazing.
like, apparently I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, I think so. Spirit's just putting all that right into your path. Because I know this
is all super exciting, and I'm super I'm astonished. I'm grateful, and what do you say when all this falls into your lap? But anyway,
thank you.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Thank you.
Yes, please. Can I have some more?
Yes. So
that is so exciting. My goodness.
So that's why I've been so busy. And when I met up with Susan Lynn, she said, you need your website done. And I'm like, okay, yes, ma'am. What else? And then I build the website, and then I start working on the Oracle deck. And then finally that went to print on Friday. So that's why I can now come on and visit channels. And everyone in the chat that's sip. I love it, Jackie. So everyone in the chat that's saying that's great. I'm super grateful. I'm super stunned. And yeah, that's a lot of responsibility. So,
but with your credentials and the videos I've seen of you that you've shared, your history and what you've done, this sounds just natural. It'll just naturally come to you with your experience.
Well, thank you. It's
a lot of hard work getting there too.
Oh yeah. That's true. I didn't just, And I'm sure when people look at the channel, they're like, oh, she has a few subscribers, a few videos, whatever. But I mean, I've been, studying this stuff. 40 years, I feel like, and I just had my second Saturn return, if anybody knows what that means.
Yeah.
And allegedly that's mastery. If you behave yourself, because I'm going to do a whole talk on Saturn. If you don't behave yourself, Saturn will kick your ass sideways. Oh, yeah. So I always try to behave well for the most part.
So what does the Saturn return mean again? Is that like your birthday or where?
Okay, so it's what happens at the time you were born, your
Mhm.
Saturn is in. Okay, so you ladies both have moon in Aries. So at the time you were born, oh, you have moon in Pisces, you have moon in Aries. You're Aries rising.
I do.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
Aries
stay with
rising.
the group, Sabrina. So at the moment you were born, the planets were all in a certain sign and a certain degree. Okay. So wherever your Saturn is when you were born, let's say, for example, let's say your Saturn was in Virgo. Every 29 and a half years, that's how long it takes Saturn to go around the sun to
Wow.
come back to the same degree where Saturn was when you were born.
Gotcha.
So that is your ticket to adulthood, so to speak. So
That'll be
if
interesting.
you've worked hard and, played your cards right, I guess, and Saturn will reward you, or you will get your due karma if you have not been a very good person. Now, it's yeah, I don't mean to make it sound so black and white, but that's why your first Saturn return is very important, because again, another 29 and a half years, when you're around 58, you're going to either get your big promotion from Saturn or you're going to really crash. So
I'm done with the
you
crashing. I've
look
had enough.
back, what happened when you were roughly around 30? And if
Ooh.
you're not 58 or 59, 60, that area, yet you can look back right around that 29-degree mark. Like some people get married, some people have a baby, some people, I know one guy that got a nasty transmitted disease for his Saturn return. I was not with him. So that's what you look at around that 30-year mark. And then in another, 29 and a half years, that's when you look back and say, what happened then? I got a promotion when my Saturn hit 29, when I was 29. And I also started a business a couple years later. All the things that I'm doing right now, it's kind of crazy to look back and say, didn't I already do this? But anyway, so I'll let you all know when I do the whole chat about Saturn, because if Saturn is your buddy and the planets in your chart get along with Saturn, it's usually something good that happens then. But it can be a challenging time around that 29-year mark. So, but anyway.
We're going to have, either on Divine Feminine or on my fresh, I come back and talk about astrology. Because when people start talking about astrology, my brain usually glazes over. But now I'm fascinated with the Saturn return because, oh boy, I remember exactly what was happening, at that 29 mark. So,
well, and it's interesting because I don't know how old you are, Heather, but
I'm going to be 55 in December.
Okay, so what I would do if I were you, look at, I can send you a chart, or I can send you sites to go in and look at your astrology chart. But what you might want to look back at, was that a good thing when you were 29-ish, 30-ish? Do you want to repeat that? What were your lessons?
I kind of already did in a way, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not quite 58 yet or 57, it seems like, some of the, with moving and stuff, but, I'll digress on that one. There'll be something I'll have to share, I think, privately, with you. But yeah, very
Yeah.
interesting.
It's super interesting. I listened to this lecture last night on Saturn, and Dr. Kathleen, she gave Catherine, sorry, she used Bruce Springsteen as an example, and I think Paul Simon, and the Rolling Stones was super interesting because their collective chart for the group when she threw a chart when the Rolling Stones were formed, just like we have a chart for the United States. So when the Rolling Stones were formed, then, they've been together a long time. So it showed what happened with their group Saturn return. And then they just had their second Saturn return. They've been together, I think, 62 years. Crazy.
Yeah.
And they just put a new album out 2 years ago. That was their second Saturn return. So
Wow.
it's really fascinating. Now, I love Saturn. A lot of people, if they know astrology, they're not a fan of Saturn. It's just, it works for me. And that's a whole nother lecture. So,
All right.
okay. Thank
So-
you all for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, my dear. I just love when I can, we people, they have so much information. It's just like a sponge. Let me squeeze, let me get us, much out. But yes, thank you. So today's topic on femininity was suggested to us by Sabrina and Nancy, and I thought this was an amazing idea. And so there were a two card question that we were going to open the show with at Sabrina's suggestion, and we thought that was fabulous. I am going to save that poem, ladies, till the end. So we can, I think that'll be a nice thing to end the show with. So the two, now, Sabrina, do you want me to tell everybody what the two cards represent, or did you want to share with everybody how you came about them and why you want to use them? Does it matter? Let me know.
It does. I just pulled it up on my phone so I can remember what
okay.
I told you I said we were going to do.
So there are it's a 2-card pull. Now, for me, I usually like to grab a couple little clarifiers. But the first card that we're going to pull, and this will be also what we'll be using after we're done talking about the definition of femininity. So we'll open the floor then. But everyone just wait till we open the floor for putting the me's in there so I can, get everybody down that wants a reading. So the first card is going to be the sacred feminine strength and wisdom I possess now and can call upon. That's the first question that we're going to pull cards on. And then the second one is, or card 2, the sacred feminine strength and wisdom that I need to call in to grow and to activate. So that's how we're going to get this all started here. And so everyone's talking in chat. Scott, what is your, I see, already we're having the conversation. I love that. And do you already have cards pulled, Sabrina? We always let our guests go first.
I don't, but I can.
Oh, whoever has
I just
cards,
need to
I've
cut
got
the
mine
decks.
pulled already. So if you wanted me to go first, I can go ahead and do that while you and Nancy are pulling cards. Unless no rush. I'll just wait for Sabrina. I think this was a wonderful questions that you came across. I think this is perfect for today.
I'm going to pull them both from the same deck. Oh my, interesting. Okay, so let me show you this deck.
Goddess of love.
Tarot, and you have to be careful with this deck because there's a lot of naughty bits on here.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. Not on this channel. As long as it's not like, oh my God, like they're doing certain, but basic. I mean, it's human. We're adults here. So.
All right. So this is the sacred feminine strength and wisdom I possess now and can call upon. And this is the moon.
Woohoo.
Okay, so Nancy, tell us about the moon.
The moon?
Yeah.
Well,
We want you to say something here. I'm going to get you involved, girl.
okay. The moon, when I look at the moon card, I think, well, the moon card in the tarot, I think, well, first of all, it's beautiful, but there's also mystery involved with it. And to me, the moon is timeless because it's always there, like the sun. And when we don't see it, it's still there. It is watching over us. I have a really close connection to the moon and the stars. I mean, I've been gazing at them since I was little. I just stand up and just watch and wonder. So I would say regarding the question, the strength and the wisdom I possess is with the moon is knowing that what I don't see doesn't necessarily mean that it's not there. It's always there. I just don't see it right now. So I would think that would be the wisdom I possess regarding the moon.
Heather.
Oh, I'm gonna get called on this too. I thought I might. For me, I always think that the moon card gets a bad rap in the tarot because it's all about things hiding in the shadow and people being shadowy and kind of scary. But for me, the moon is absolutely beautiful. It's divine feminine energy. She's mother moon. She's grandmother moon. Um, Her phases coincide with with the woman's body and how with our our menstruation, with our mood swings, with our own personal energy. She's a beautiful like mirror, in the sky to me. She lights the way, at night to show the way safely, but also the shadows and the clouds. It just creates a very quiet, very sacred. Um, it's like that blanket, it's that beautiful cloak of where you can dream, you can tap into her to dream, you can pull down on her energy. Um, I when I think of the full moon, I see women being able to be out in nature and celebrating her energy and the dancing and the ritual and the sisterhood that it evolves in.
Oh, we have
Um,
pets. Yay.
mhm.
She
Hi,
wanted up.
Truffles. And
That's my
so,
little truffle.
so for me, the moon is all about the intuition, the dreams,
Mhm.
the veils, the psychic knowing. So it's very feminine, very sacred feminine to me. And I love the grandmother, aspect as well. For me, when it comes to moon phases, my favorite has always been when we go into the dark moon and then she comes into, the both the waxing and the waning, when you see that beautiful little crescent, in the sky. I see that and it melts my heart. So, yeah.
Well, what I see with this card is you see both of the pillars on there, the
Mhm.
dark pillars, dark of the night. So the first thing when I pulled this up was, I think, mystery, because the moon is a mystery because we, like Nancy said, it's there. We can't always see it. But when you draw the moon card, you always think, well, there's things that are hidden. And I think with women, one of our sacred feminine things is that we can stay back in the shadow. We can consult with our intuition and we can wait most of the time until it's an appropriate time to come into the light,
Mhm.
if that makes any sense.
That's beautiful.
That and these pillars here, of course, the high priestess.
Ice priestess, yep.
This says, the high priestess is also ruled by the moon, but I think that we as women, that we know, just it's in our intuition most of the time. I'm generalizing, of course. We have that intuition that we can kind of stay in the background and we just kind of wait and watch. And when it's the right time, we bring that forth just like, a full moon. And that's where lunatic comes from, Luna.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that when we talk that we're lunatics or anything, but that there is a lot of mystery. And I think that when a woman does have a little bit of a mysterious overtone to herself, I think that is more attractive for whatever reason. That, well, I kind of know, but it's not time for me to talk yet. So in the context of what we possess now and can call upon, your intuition that will be there for you at the right place at the right time.
Nice.
Okay, so now this second card is what you need to call in order to grow and activate. Now this is what I mean by the naughty bits. We're going to cover that. This is the devil.
Don't worry.
Okay, so I'll go first this time if you don't mind. I think so. The devil, death, tower, they're all kind of scary cards, but they don't have to be. So if you take a look on this card, I'm trying to, she's kind of.
Sweetheart, you don't have to cover up the card.
I don't want to get you in trouble on YouTube.
No, we do it all the time. We
you do?
All right. All the time.
Okay, yeah. Then. So
That's
if
fine.
you notice, she's got a snake loosely around her, but she also has wings to fly. So I think that this is clearly saying, call upon the strength that you need to release things that don't serve you. Because I think women, again, generalizing, we have the tendency to take on the world. We want to help everybody. We want to be there for everybody. We're the den mother. And we can get so caught up in that we feel in bondage by that. And that's our own doing. So with the devil, any sort of bondage that you see there, you have the ability to release it.
Yep.
If you call upon your angels and guides to give you that strength, because that snake is super loose on there. That snake could drop away and she has already the wings to fly.
Wow. You ever offer that course? I'm going to take it. Oh my God. I love all these
tarot imagery. It's happening in January. I'll get you the dates. It's super cool. I know it's going to be super cool. I
saw that on your website.
I'm using almost 30 different decks. So, you ladies have anything to say about the devil?
Well, for me, of course, the devil is always represented. Before, when I was first starting tarot, of course, it was just like, I was thinking of it in a Christian context. But now that I've been doing tarot for a while, to me, it's things that hold us bondage. We, we have the chains, they're loose. We can let go of those at any time. Kind of like the Eight of Swords. We have the ability to, get out of those binds, walk through the swords, and to be able to get us out of that situation. So with the devil, that's a lot about letting go of things that hold us bondage that are not healthy. Memories from our past, things that we've done in our past, things that we might be addicted to, whether it be food, drink, recreational drugs, whatever, or even, maybe certain types of people. There's, we all have different vices that we can attach an unhealthy, even spending. I'd be one of those, those people myself that, sometimes I will buy to get that nice little kick of dopamine. And then afterwards it's like, oops. So for me,
I am so guilty of that. I'm Taurus rising and I am a maximalist.
Oh,
I am not a minimalist.
You can ask Scott.
I am a maximalist.
Yep.
Yeah. So especially with shoes, not shoes, boots.
Oh,
I'm a boot whore.
For me, it's cards, it's paint, it's, yarn again now. So, but, so Nancy, what did you get for your 2 cards?
Oh, okay. I was going to say, the devil, I think of temptation.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got.
No, I just think of temptation and all that, there's all different kinds of temptation.
Diane.
And also, I think it's bondage to things that from the past that you have not let go of. But the two cards that I got here, let me put Truffle down. She wants down now. She just needed a little love. Plus, she wants me to hold her in my recliner out in the living room. The first card I got for the strength and wisdom that I possess is the card of insight. And on the back of this, I think this really talks about the sacred feminine. This is from the Wisdom of the Crone deck. And it says, from the beginning, women have had a sixth sense for finding the true nature or thing of a person. This quality reminds us that we are connected to a much larger comprehension and understanding than our own. These insights, hunches, and gut feelings support us in our quest for the truth. Be open and trusting of your inner sight. If it feels right, it most likely is right. Look within. And I think this has to do with the intuition that we all have, and looking beyond the physical of what we see and understanding that it's more than that. I think it's a spiritual thing. And talking about the sacred feminine, there was talk in the chat, about men can just be absolutely saturated with sacred feminine energy, and I see that in Scott because, when I was, getting the information for this, some of the traits of the sacred feminine, the list that I found, I mean, it's like I was talking about Scott. But the second card that I got for the what we need to call in and grow and activate now is embrace the internal mother. And we talk a lot about the our higher self and our child that's within us, and we also have an internal mother, and some people that did not have a nurturing mother, their internal mother can be the nurturer, to help you nurture yourself. And I think that right now, in order to grow, we can embrace that internal mother and make her a part of us, that will help us through difficult times and give us this hug that we need sometimes when just everything seems to be going wrong. It's like my mother passed, goodness, in 1998, but there's sometimes when I just want a hug. I want my mother's hug, and that internal mother, I think, can do that for us.
I immediately thought when you pulled that internal mother card, what came to mind that I think that many people, but we are talking about the sacred feminine. So when I say women, I don't want anyone to think that I'm being genderizing or whatever. We are talking about the sacred feminine. So I immediately thought that is about self-care. That is about taking care of you, because so many women give and give and give. Like I said, I mean, they make the meals, they do the housework, the kids. Now, I do realize that some men are helpful, but I think that women will be the first to give of themselves at their own expense. And if you keep giving, your well is going to go dry and you're not able to help anybody else out. So the internal mother I looked at that as self-soothing. You have to learn to soothe yourself and to take care of yourself. And self-care to me isn't about, you go get a massage or you go buy new shoes, although those are great, but it's more that you're like, you know what? I don't want to do that today. I'm going to just sit on my ass and read a book and have a glass of wine, and I'm not going to worry about any of this. That's
Yeah.
self-care, if that is something that works for you.
Hmm.
But that's what
Mhm.
hit me like
Yeah.
immediately with that card. And the other card was the moon all over again, the intuition and the mystery.
Hmm.
So
Nice. This is beautiful. Oh, I love this. And people are sharing too as well. And Pam said to me, the devil is all about my personal power, giving my power away or taking back my power.
Hmm.
ooh,
Um,
go Pammy.
and
Yeah.
she says, my favorite devil card is a mirror. Woohoo.
Oh
Yep.
my.
And
Yeah.
there was somebody
Yeah.
else shared something too. I can see the devil as a reflection of what you're doing or what your energy is like right now, showing the dark side of you and that giving you that you're the red flag. It's time to change. So thank you, Shelby.
Hmm.
Devil's
Trying to.
bondage by your own
Mhm.
doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the
Alrighty.
devil
So
thinks it's funny. The devil is just like, ha ha, I got you again. Fix it.
yeah. So for me, I ended up pulling a couple clarifiers to go with my two, but I'll make sure I keep this, brief. The sacred feminine strength and wisdom I possess now and can call upon. Others saying she'll keep this brief. We know what happens when others start stalking. Um, so I apologize ahead of time. So from I brought along my Witch Oracle, Woman in Total Control of Herself. I love this deck, especially for today. And I got the Priestess of Original Innocence. And I love this. This is what we can possess now. Just looking at the card, you can see that in times of when we may feel isolated, when we may feel like we're being given the cold shoulder, or we're in need of that self-care. You have that beautiful bear. To me, polar bear or not, it's still that bear. It's that bear hug. We have that strength. Again, the mother energy, mother bear. I immediately love that. And what she wrote in the book here is that a witch knows her innocence is her most foundational nature and indulges the arms that gentle awareness around her, holding her in a loving embrace. Now it's the time to let go of any shaming thoughts, anguished should haves, or weighty doubts, which goes along with the devil card. Things that we need to let go of ourselves that hold us bondage. And it says here, you're being asked to transform the perpetual thought, what is wrong with me, into what is in the way of me experiencing my innocence right now. I love this. You are a treasure, as is, wrap that truth around you in this moment. And the card that came out for the tarot to clarify, there's the high priestess again, there's the moon card. So again, tapping into your intuition, knowing when that you need that arms, that mothering energy to comfort you through now. When I think of mother too, not just the empress being creative and doing something creative, but it's also the queen of pentacles, which is that grounded, earthy, nurturing energy that we need to provide for ourselves as well. And with the high priestess, knowing that we have the wisdom from what we've lived already and what we can attain once we open up to that feminine intuition and allow for ourselves to connect confidently to our higher selves and our higher power. And for the card two, the sacred feminine strength and wisdom that I need to call in to grow and activate, I got the goddess of grace. And for me, again, this is like what we were saying, one we were saying earlier, sometimes that self nurturing, that self care isn't about a spa or buying shoes. It's about there she is, I know she's got her cup and her sword on her lap, but again, it's about um, knowing that grace of when to hold back and what we need to do to take care of ourselves. We can't always be expected to answer to everybody's whim, everybody's call. That it's okay if we take a time to sit back. But who knows? Maybe she's got some wine in that cup, relaxing. And I love how they've got the triple goddess too behind her. Um, so it's tapping into that grace, our sense of that spiritual within us. This is something that a lot of us need to call in right now, knowing that we can take that break, take that time to nurture ourselves and to be able to sit in the grace of knowing that I'm disconnecting myself from TV, the phone, um, people who, cross my boundaries. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to relax. I'm going to meditate. It's to me also with her like this with the flowers and the drink and that sword in her lap. It's almost kind of like, you know, she's got grace, but at the same time, you don't cross her because she will use that, whether in, setting someone in their place or, even having to say, no, this is what I need. This is what I require. These are my boundaries right now. And being able to maintain those boundaries. And the tarot card that came to pull with it, judgment. Letting go. For me, the judgment card has two, sides, to the sword. For me, the judgment means, not letting others judge us and not allowing ourselves to unjustly judge ourselves. So it's about letting go of past judgments on ourselves and with others. And again, hold that space of grace for ourselves, knowing that, we have come this far and having that epiphany, the judgment card, that spiritual awakening, that epiphany, knowing that all we read really now is grace, time with ourselves, what's important to us. And it's kind of like the non-physical, non-material, and just being there to take care of ourselves, to nourish ourselves and what we need. And that's what I have. Okay. Did you want me to hold up any of the cards like with
Oh, I was holding up as you were holding up the bear. I
Oh,
was
that's right.
holding up
You're
my
wearing a bear.
bears.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially during the winter, months, the dark cold months, we kind of curl into our, making sure that, you know, we have that, we give ourselves that bear hug too, and remember that we're strong within. So that's what I have, ladies. Thank you. Alrighty, did I miss anybody coming in? I believe I do. I see someone saying hi to Mona Lee. So
Yeah.
Mona Lee is here. There she is. Hello, Mona. Thank you for being here. Let me see if I'm making sure I didn't miss any. Let's see. Richling shared, devil, it not death, but get yourself released from what happened and starting new. Yes, and let's see. And Garnet says, caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. Van Moore. See, now Garnet's like me. I hear words, I will pull up music and lyrics just like that. So there we go, Garnet. We got another Van
Uh-oh,
Morrison song.
we better tell her to stop now.
Cup of tea. Let's see. Okay, Richling, it's okay, sweetheart. We all know that you were just teasing. Please
Yeah.
relax, my dear. You are loved and you are welcomed here. So let's just move on and let that go. You
Yeah.
are you're welcome here and you are very much appreciated. So
Yeah.
let's see, she did share, Richling shared, moon. When I look at the moon, I see a man in the moon. I see his smile. Moon changing of the moon. Moon changing of the moon is wonderful to see. Yep, and there we go. So we're going to be talking about the definition of femininity. So our guest, Sabrina, or Nancy, was there anything you wanted to share before we move forward?
No, I mean, I have some notes, but I want to hear what Sabrina has to
Okay,
say.
well, I didn't know there was anything you wanted to add about the cards or any
Well,
insights
the
into the
one
collective
thing,
read.
one thing that when I look at the moon, I think of my ancestors. I think of all the people from the beginning of time that have looked up at the moon and the stars. And I mean, some of the stars that we're just seeing have been traveling that long to get here, you know. And I get a strong ancestral vibe from the moon. But
Beautiful. Yeah. How the women used to celebrate, how it used to be celebrated. We can do
oh
ritual
yeah,
under the moon and everything. Yeah. So, alrighty. Definition of femininity, what's the definition of feminine? And right over to you, Miss Sabrina.
Oh boy. Well, I listen to a lot of kind of psychobabble shows because that's what I like. My degree's in counseling. And what is so interesting is there's such division in all kinds of things around the world right now. And I think there's a big division in um, what a man's place is in the world and what a woman's place is in the world. And I think that, and what I mean by that is, there's a percentage or saying that, the woman should be subservient to the man and stay at home and you're the baby machine and yakety yak. And then there's the, I get that. I have no children, so that didn't work for me. So I get the cat machine. So, and then there's, the other avenue that, women are getting along just fine by themselves. They make their own money, they buy their own houses, they do their own thing. And, Heather, when we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, what we were going to talk about, I just thought that for me, because I've been self-employed my whole adult life. I mean, I've had other contract jobs, but I've had to rely on just me. And when COVID happened, here I am. I have a huge Pilates studio. That's what I do fitness, been doing it for 40 years. And I had to shut that down. And so I'm like thinking, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to pay the mortgage? How is any of this going to work? So as I'm figuring all of this out, and fortunately I did figure it out like within 3 days, I flipped to virtual. And, but as I was doing all that, I thought, I think that if you're a woman, you're on your own, you have to pay your bills, you have to do everything yourself. And there have been times in my life when I'm fixing shit and I'm up on ladders and pulling nails out of the wall, or I rewired my bathroom vanity. So I was doing electrical work when I was back in New Hampshire, and I stood really far away when I flipped that light switch, but it did work. But there's times when I'm like, damn, I just wish I had some help. But there's the trade-off there. But I think that for me, as a self-employed single woman, you start to turn super alpha. And I think that when a woman gets so alpha, you kind of forget how to soften. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about women, that women can be really soft, but really strong, really nurturing, caring, but super strong. But I think for me that sometimes I've just had to be so tough, so strong, so responsible, that I just get caught up in that. And for a number of years, I caught myself that I would literally compete with men. And when a man would do something, I would be like, I can do that. So, and it was very interesting dynamic to watch how my life had turned me so alpha. And that's not a good thing. I mean, I think it's great that I'm so self-efficient, so efficient, but it does harden you. And I have a friend that's in Arizona, and I must have just watched the podcast on feminine energy, and I'm just watching her. And she's beautiful. She's about 5'11", very soft features, soft spoken. I mean, you can hear her, but I have seen her get firm. And I'm just watching her, and I'm so admiring her. I'm like, you are so beautiful and you are so graceful. She just, is this the right word? Epitomizes? Is that the right word to say?
And who is she?
Just the picture of what I would describe as feminine energy. She didn't have to raise her voice. I'm just kind of a loud person by nature, loudmouth lime, my grandmother used to call me. But as I'm watching her and I'm like, if somebody wanted an example of feminine energy, she was the example. And I was almost envious of that because she was soft yet firm.
Mm.
And, so it was quite a contrast. I mean, and I love her husband dearly too. And they've been married for 35 or 40 years. And so, I just kind of look back and say to myself, and I'm like, where along the line did I kind of lose that softness? Or maybe I never had it because I've always had to be so responsible and so alpha. I've had to be the female and the male, for every occasion. So I don't know if other women in the chat feel that way, that you've had to turn so strong that sometimes you forget how to be soft. Unless it's one of your furry animals, then that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
So,
Sabrina, really quick.
the animals bring it out in you, all the love, the embracing the inner mother. That inner mother comes right out around the animals. So
Sabrina, really quick, may I ask who this young lady is? I would love to find her channel and her podcast.
she doesn't have a channel or a podcast, but you know what? Can I just grab something? I'll show you.
Sure, I would love to.
It just totally describes her.
It'd be nice to watch one of these of hers. She sounds amazing.
Well, and she's just, let me get back here so you can hear me. She's an unbelievable artist. So that's what she does well. And she did an oracle deck, and I have it here. And if you guys want to buy it, I'm sure she'll sell it to you. So this is one of her paintings.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And this, it's called the Elegant Wisdom Oracle. And when she sent this to me, I looked at that and I'm like, that has got your name all over it. Just who she is. I think she's Libra rising. I know she has a Libra moon. Now, if you know anything about Libra rising, most of the time, man or woman, is very beautiful and elegant looking. Justin Trudeau has got to be Libra rising because he is beautiful. Anyway, the Elegant Wisdom Oracle, and even the font that she picked out on here, and then she did all the artwork on here. So and she has a story. And
what's her name?
Her name is Pamela Lordy. So if anybody's interested in this deck, I can put you in touch with her. She's quite the contrast to me. Very, very different, but we get along quite well. She's an Aquarius.
Sometimes opposites attract. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
But I just
Shelby.
remember looking at, that's kind of my 2 cents.
And here's her.
Oh yeah, there.
Website.
Oh, I'm sorry. She does have a website with her art. She might have these for sale on her website. We didn't really talk about that, but she's my neighbor in Arizona.
Oh, okay. And I've also lived in Arizona, so another thing you and I have in common. So was there anything else you want to share? Do you want me to hand over to Nancy?
I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, what I wanted to start with was that, men and women can both have sacred feminine, just as, like what Sabrina was saying, the sacred masculine energy. And usually the masculine energy is associated with action and structure, like getting things done.
I love that.
Doing what needs to be done, like in a methodical way. And women with the divine feminine traits are intuition, nurturing, creativity, receptivity, life-giving, and sustaining, is a sustaining force. And the feminine is associated with fluidity, adaptability, and creation of meandering paths. Um, and there's this strong life force that every culture has a goddess or of the divine feminine that has a dynamic power, and it's a life force of the universe. In Hinduism, it's Shakti. I'm
Shakti.
yeah.
Yes.
And you know, if you look, you know, they're just all these, you know, very strong goddesses that, you know, have the feminine power. And if you want to connect to this sacred feminine, um, you have to embrace your intuition. You know, it's there. If you haven't tapped into it, you need to just slow down and prioritize self-care and prioritize yourself. You know, um, don't go through life just, I've got to do this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and you don't take any time for your own spiritual growth and fulfillment. You need to learn to express your emotions and cultivate creativity. I mean, you know, we're not all artists, but we can all create. Whether it's, you know, in the garden or in the kitchen, or, you know, just working with clay or watercolors and creating something that means something to you. It doesn't have to, you know, somebody else might look at it and say, ooh, you know, but you created it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And to connect with nature and to focus on healing and growth. And then when you have all this in you, is connect with others, you know, and be that person that they can turn to when they need like a spiritual hug, you know. I feel, you know, it's very important. I think a lot of empaths have a lot of the sacred feminine energy. And I think it's important. Why I enjoy doing this and learning about all of this is it's helping me inside, you know, and that's where all this activity should happen, is within you. And that way you grow and you have a better understanding. And then you can handle what's going on that you have to do, boom, 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 because you have this treasure inside of you. And that's what I see as the sacred feminine.
Beautiful.
Well, you
And
know, that was interesting, Nancy, because the first thing that you said was all you gave the list of
Mm-hmm.
sacred masculine energy.
Uh-huh.
And I just, you know, I think that for me, being, you know, the provider,
Mm-hmm.
the businesswoman, this, that, and the other thing, and I remember saying this to myself at one point, I thought, Sabrina, you are so busy always getting everything done that
Mm-hmm.
you don't sit down and not do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very guilty of that.
Yeah.
And, you know, but that just really hit home with me, that I remember that the one time thinking, you know, everyone's like, oh, you need to relax, you need to not work, you need to not, you know, this, that, and the other thing. But I'm like, you know, you don't understand. I have all these things that I've got to get
Yeah.
done. And then by the time I get them done, I'm done. You know?
Well, you know, I mean, you can just have like just a little quiet time. It doesn't mean like you have to be like in an ashram or something, you know. Well, you can create your own ashram, you know, and it can be when you're in the shower, you know.
Right.
I mean, but I think part of the problem today is, you know, women have, well, in the most part, you know, they're in the workforce and they're very strong and they're, you know, capable and everything. And in doing that, they have forgotten how important it is to nurture themselves, you know, because I would think, if you don't have like an internal perspective, um, I don't know if I can how I can say this, but if you don't have this intuition and nurturing inside yourself that you are doing for yourself, the other part is hollow. I would think, you know. But having said that, I'm 78 years old. I don't work. I have the time to do it. And this is my time to learn and to grow and to be. I mean, I was busy raising children, and after my youngest got in high school, I went back to work. And I enjoyed working, but boy, I love retirement.
I'm jealous.
But
I am jealous.
now it's like my time, you know.
Mhm.
And I think if you're not retired, that you need to have like 15 minutes a day of my time, where you nurture and you think, or you write, or you pull cards and look at them and see the messages that are for you. You could just do one, two, or three cards a day. Do it in the morning, and then when you come home, look at the cards and see how they spoke to you during the day as your day went on. But I don't know. I feel like I'm very fortunate because I'm able to do this, and not everybody has the time.
Right. You are very fortunate to have your time for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great. I think I will be working until I'm dead, but I like everything I do, and
But you love that, and,
I
and
do
that's,
like I do.
yeah,
One
yeah.
thing about me is I'm not complaining, and please don't anyone
Mhm.
think I'm complaining about my life. I've had a great life. My life is, I do have a fabulous life. Um, but and I totally lost my train of thought. But whatever I was gonna
It's a
say, I'm
wonderful
fine.
life.
Yes.
But oh, I know what I was gonna say. If you like what you do, you can keep doing it. I
Yeah.
mean, how many
Yeah.
Mhm.
of you,
Follow your
maybe people
bliss.
in the chat, how many people say they hate their job, they hate getting out of bed in the morning, and I can't do that. If I don't like something or a situation, I might
Mm-hmm.
whine about it for a little while, but I will get out of there as soon as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
There is no reason to be miserable in life. Fix it. Do
Mm-hmm.
something. Take
Yeah.
action. Was I being
Yeah.
alpha again?
No, but Shelby did share that I hate my job. It's killing me. So
Yeah.
what would you say with your training wellness with what we're talking about? How would you address that? How could we help her? I mean, we all have to have a job to survive. So is there anything of your insight, Sabrina, that you would love to share with Shelby and Nancy? I mean, to say it's
Um,
killing her, that's
Yeah.
heartbreaking here because that
Yeah.
happens to a lot of people. Yeah.
well,
And she's going to school at the same time.
yeah, yeah, boy, I can relate. I remember that too. College full time, and I
Mhm.
worked full time, and I was psychotic full time. Um, I think that the first thing when you're in any sort of miserable situation, that if it's not going to change, you have to change to adapt to that. Okay. So, what I mean by that is you can't control anything but yourself.
Hmm.
So, if there's a way to look at the situation through a different lens, um, that would be the first thing I would say. And then the second thing I would say is, are you taking any sort of steps to do something else? So, this is what's going on right now. That's the devil. You're being held bondage by the misery that I think, if you can't change your attitude, if you need to stay there for whatever reason, for whatever length of time, Then you're going to need to start to take steps to get out of there. And I don't know what you do. Maybe it's sign up for Indeed.com, which is a job site. Put your resume in there and see, they send you an email every day. What's out there, or figure out how can I get out of here? What else can I do? What do I want to do? Maybe I don't know what I want to do. But that's what I would say. And if you can, and this is tough to do, if you can somehow go into work and in your mind, because thoughts become things, you're in complete control of what goes on in your head. If you can somehow go in there and say, you know what, when Susie Q comes up to me and is a raging bitch and snaps at me, or whatever happens at work, because we know that happens, or whatever the situation is, how can I change my response to that?
I really want to get out of there, but it's the money situation. I work in retail with manager who can barely manage themselves. I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you do a shift to a different retail place? I don't know. There are plenty of managers out there that should not be in management. If you're good at sales, that does not make you a good manager. And you can't manage people, you can guide them.
Yeah.
So, I left 2 jobs recently, that my extra part-time jobs, that it was the same gig. The managers couldn't even manage themselves. And I think that you probably feel like you're doing their job and yours, but you're not getting the credit for it. Could that be true? Moonfox? Is it Moonfox? Shelby?
Yeah, her name is Shelby. Yeah. And we are joined by Sandy, all the way from England, Devon. Hello, Sandy. So
hi, Sandy. So I don't know if that's helpful or not, Shelby. Yeah, that's a tough one, because
since we try to make the world better for our children the way we found it. Yeah.
What I would recommend is to watch your energy. Try and keep your energy high. Your don't let your vibration get lower. Try and keep it high. Whatever, take a breath. Ground yourself as many times as you need to. And, that's something that you have control of. Nobody around you has to know what's happening. And when you leave, shake it off. Get rid of that negative energy before you go home. Don't take it home with you, because once you're home, you're free,
Shelby, you're going to think I'm off my rocker, but I'm going to ask you this anyway. Do you know how to ground and protect yourself about energy that's coming at you? I don't know if you do. I mean, I can give you a simple little activity if you want it.
She shared, I can go on a soapbox and scream what has been happening behind the scenes and what's going on. So she sees things going on, and then can't say anything about it. But she says, I see what you're talking about, and I agree with it. So she was waiting to see if she shares something else. But yeah. Yeah, that's what my job thing was for most of my life was retail. And the older I got, the less I could handle it. And yeah, I was happy to not have to work anymore, especially deal, with, because I would go into anxiety. I would start shaking at the cash register. I would, have anxiety or panic attacks before leaving the house to even get to work. And literally one day I almost just turned around and ran out the door of where I was working. It got so bad. But here she goes. I try grounding and protection, but not always. And it's a bit difficult because I psych myself out and say to myself that this isn't going to work.
Then it won't.
Darling, that's why it's not working. So, Shelby, here's what you need to do moving forward, okay? You need to have a chat with the universe. You need to say, listen, I'm really unhappy in this job. What is my part in this? How can I change while I'm there? How can you help me to make this better while I am here? Ask for help. Your angels, your guides, the universe is going to come down and help you. Ask for help. Just say, I'm at my wit's end. Um, I don't know. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Send me the opportunities, send me the light, send me the wherewithal, send me the thought process. Help me with this situation. And you have to believe, Miss Shelby, that you'll get the help. You have to believe that.
Yes.
Okay? Because if you don't believe it, if you're just saying, oh, this is hocus pocus, woohoo, yahoo, voodoo, you're not going to get the help. And I know that it takes some time to believe in yourself, to believe in the universe. But the more you believe, the more you just say, you're going to have to help me with this. And you have to let it go. Now, you also can't resist when when you call in the universe to help, resistance is saying, this is going to be a shitty day. I hate this job. I hate these people. This is crazy. You're resisting. You're resisting also by saying, I don't think this is going to work. You have to let that go. And that takes practice. So I don't expect you to flip your switch and be a new person tomorrow. So I would have a chat with the universe and ask for help, guidance.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Yes,
who
definitely.
else is in the chat that wants to hear some stuff?
Oh, it's okay if I go ahead and
Oh yeah, you want to talk about your feminine energy.
I got a couple of things here. Oh, and here Garna says she is my religion. Another Van Morrison.
Oh
So what
boy.
I went ahead and did was I was interested because I went into, my search engine and they're all automatically, everything's all AI now. So I thought, well, I'm going to type in what is the definition of feminine energy and see what AI brought up. And AI kind of did like a little smattering. And then they actually led me to two interesting websites. So I got for what is the definition of feminine energy? A spiritual force defined by traits such as receptivity, intuition, creativity, and nurturing. They also included emotional intelligence, which I thought was very interesting, and also grace, and that was one of the cards I got was grace, and ability to connect with others, and focusing on harmony. So again, the natural things the mothers do, making sure everybody's taken care for, or the female energy, wife, mother, trying to make sure that everybody's happy, everybody's needs are met, everybody is getting along. And again, that tends to go to the detriment of them not being able to tap into that creativity and being able to have time to be able to nurture themselves from that. So that was interesting from Google. So they brought me up a website by a young lady named Keisha Rice, and her keywords was fluidity, creativity, faith, empathy, imagination, and inspiration. I love how nobody else meant, in when I Google it, mentioned imagination and inspiration. Common misconception that feminine energy is weak and soft. However, we're powerful creators and communicators. We can be overly forgiving. So, a little bit of a detriment to in her article, overly forgiving. And I know I have done that myself. But again, being women, or women, we want to be able to try to make people happy. We don't want to necessarily feel like we hurt somebody, or if there's people in our lives that we really want to hold on to, like the devil card again coming up. That's another thing that we can be bound to is, having people that we may love and we want in our lives, but if it's not being reciprocated and they don't want, that can be something that is detrimental to learning how to be able to let go. And I love that how it goes into that fluidity, being able to know the signs and being able to let go. And I know it's not easy, trust me. And it says here, another negative is allowing others to cross your boundaries. Again, wanting to make people happy. Will you do this? If you say, instead of saying maybe or let me think about it, we want to make everybody happy. Sometimes it's because we have a job, like with Shelby, that we can't, we're afraid to say no. Or we don't want people to think we're ungrateful, that we're unkind. So a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, kind of comes around us wanting to take care of ourselves and wanting to create those boundaries. Like with that cardigan, with her sword in her lap, that's her saying, I have boundaries, do not cross them. But yet I'm still here to possess grace and emotion and empathy. And now this is her, I'm quoting Keisha herself here. The feminine understands that boundaries are key to allowing her to be her most authentic and comfortable. And I love the word authentic because, yes, there are times where we have to wear a mask. Sometimes that means having to, like Sabrina, you said, having to become that alpha, being in a workplace where you have to set aside caring about, someone's situation, but saying, no, I have, this needs to be done. And if people aren't being able to fulfill what they're supposed to be on a job or in a relationship or even in a friendship, um, you know, then those boundaries need to be kept. And it's sometimes hard, of course, those typical labels of, well, then she's a bitch, she said that, all that stuff. Well, I'm thinking about it though, a great song when we were mentioning the definition of femininity. And when I was starting to write, all I could think of was that Meredith Brooks song back in the 90s called Bitch. And I absolutely, because I always kind of hated that word, but I love how she took it and she empowered the use of it. She made it as a positive, taking again back our power. I am this. I can be a lover. I can be a child. I can be weak. I can be strong. I can cry. To me, when it comes to the definition of femininity, there are so many labels on what is supposed to be feminine. And when I go to the next article from Primal Fusion Health, they say that women have four modes of expression. I'm thinking really only four. And so I wanted to
That's
see what they
today.
were. Huh?
That's today. We have 4. Tomorrow there
To
might be 14.
It might be more. So they have the maiden, the wild woman, the nurturer, and the wise woman. And I'm looking at those saying, I understand those. But again, they're leaving out something that can be very fierce, very protect. I said, but where's the protector? Because sometimes in instances of, especially if it's a mother being very protective, having to go into that aggression mode, having to go into that fight mode, having to, grab whatever might be near you to protect oneself, whether that's an actual physical object or, mentally being prepared to have to defend oneself or to go into battle. So where is a lot of these left out? That's very I guess those are the kind of the, I want to say, the elements that are considered to be feminine, and so people maybe don't still want to talk about them or set them aside. But yeah, we could be very sweet and soft and everything, but remember, we also have the masculine. And again, another label, feminine and masculine, we all share the same traits. It's just how we express them more, in my opinion. So, for women, we can be soft, we can be sweet, we can be nurturing, we can be wild, outside play, I mean creative, but we also have to acknowledge those things that we might fear in ourselves. The protector, the aggressor, the passion. There's certain things I think, labels. I mean, the great person to be able to put in the spotlight with that would kind of be like Madonna. She was the one. Her idea of femininity was all about using her let's say her wiles to be able to become in charge of who she wanted to be. She wanted to become the mogul. She wanted to become the act. All of her money, all of her fame, everything was so strictly, talk about an alpha female.
Mm.
So again, people were kind of against her because they're like, oh no, you should be like singers like so and so who are sweet, you know, kind of like say off the top of my head at the time, like Amy Grant or Whitney Houston, that were very soft and sweet and nice, and other singers, Debbie Gibson, you know, whereas she came out of left field. She brought the other side, talking about
And
sex
she is still
and aggression.
going, and she
And
is crazy
I mean,
still.
she doesn't really look like her so much these days, but you know, she's still at it. She's not giving up. So I really still think that those certain elements that are considered, you know, dark or unfavorable are still put to the side. And so we have all of them, and it's just our choice on what we feel comfortable, you know, wanting to bring forward. And something I wanted to just bring up in ending this for my part is that in my life I have actually had women tell me I'm too weak and I'm not woman enough to be her friend from another woman. I have been told that I've been too sensitive. People have to walk around my feelings. Um, and you know what? So to me, it's almost kind of like the opposite. So you have that strong alpha female like energy, but then at the same time, they don't have an understanding for the softer, more empathic, I'll say empathic, but compassionate, having some empathy. So I have been, you know, a target of comments like that too. And I'm not ashamed of it. You know, we all have our different levels of sensitivity and how we handle or approach things. And, you know, to me, that's, you know, women, to me, again, without trying to go off on a tangent, this could probably be another whole topic of conversation. It's just that in today's world, even with this much information and support from women, we still see a lot in social media, TV shows, these competitions of women being pitted against each other, where they are, you know, trying to sabotage one another. They're trying to, you know, get ahead, hurting other people. They got to get their own. And I still see that type of energy. Let me just say that energy, that focus on what is feminine. I think sometimes people try so hard to not be considered weak or sensitive or soft that they go the exact 360 and they lose all that softness that, you know, that also makes them who they are. And it goes to the point where again we have kind of like the devil card, that energy, that moon hiding, being afraid in the shadows of sharing parts of ourselves, especially like you were saying too, Sabrina, earlier, being when we had that talk, a woman having to live in a man's world, having to put on that tough veneer, having to be sometimes, I don't want to say cutthroat, but having to make those decisions that they don't like having to do, or maybe they do. There's some that enjoy that, but again, losing touch of what is considered feminine. So until I share my
Heather,
poem,
Oh,
that's where I'm going to end.
I was just going to say, I I try to be loving and compassionate and have a high vibration and grow, but I am fierce. You know, uh, uh, there's a part of us, I mean, we can still embody the sacred feminine, but we take care of what is ours, you know. And this in me, it's like a mama mode or a grandmother mode. You know, don't touch mine. Don't do anything to hurt my children because um, I will cut you off at the knees. You know.
Nancy, you're scaring me.
No, but what I mean is that you don't have to just be like, this sacred feminine, this blob of intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, there's a whole
Exactly.
other aspects of of who you are and what makes you. I mean, the three of us have come together to talk about this, and the three of us are so different. You know, I mean, I have always said that we are a product of where our raising and where we came from, you know, and then we add to that as we grow. I have 3 children, but if you talk to them about the experiences growing up, they all have a different perspective. You know, I mean, they're not like little cookie cutter, you know, I mean, they're individual people, and they, you know, we, our children came from a stable home, and not everybody has that, you know, but, everybody is complex, is what I'm trying to say. And it's okay, you know. I mean, like, Richleen, I mean, Shelby just hates going to work, you know, but that shouldn't define her, you know. She need she needs to get a hold of that and do something about it, like what you said, Shelby. You know, I mean, what you said, Sabrina, is that she has the power to change it in her mind, in her psyche, you know, in her soul, you know. And it's not easy, you know,
It
it's not
isn't.
easy to do this. It's work, you know. And I mean, it's like, you know, connecting to, you know, i I mean, Shelby, try connecting to Archangel Michael. He's a protector, and call on him to watch over you and to take his hand when you walk in there, and know that you're protected and you're loved by something that is so great we can't even comprehend it, you know, and claim that as your protector, and he's going to be with you and he's going to watch over you. But you have to believe it, you know, because it's real. But if you don't believe it, it's not real to you. That's what, but anyway, that's what I wanted to say. I hope it made sense, because sometimes I talk and I don't make a bit of sense. But anyhow,
Well, she left about 10 minutes ago. She had to
okay.
go, but next time we see her, or she usually likes
Well,
to
no,
watch
I mean, you know,
replays,
I
I'll
mean,
let her know
it's
that you shared.
applicable to anyone. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, we can talk about it, but if you don't do it, it doesn't work. You know, and
Right.
it's not easy. It's work. You
Yeah,
know.
it's really, it's a lot of work to change your thought process.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, because once you spiral down that rabbit hole into negativity, um, you know, of any kind, I hate my job, I hate my life, I hate my hair, whatever it is, you have to catch yourself with that verbiage going on in your head and stop it. And that
Mm-hmm.
takes practice, a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Heather, would you mind, what were those 4 things that
They
you said they
mentioned,
should have added more to that, if that's handy?
yeah, they have 4 here, and it's the maiden, the wild woman, the nurturer, and the wise woman.
Those are
And that's,
stages of life. Those are life
well, the
stages.
maiden, well, I'm thinking maiden, mother, crone. To me, the maiden's the maiden, the wise woman, of course, would be the crone. But yeah, the nurturer, you know, the mother.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, that's what I, when you were saying that, that those sound like life stages, and
Mm-hmm.
everything that goes in with those life stages, you know, the maiden, you're young, you're sweet, you're innocent, and then you're the wild one, you hit your 20s and you're a raging lunatic. And then, you know,
Oh,
you
but
get into
wasn't
your,
that fun?
I loved it. You know what?
I didn't dare.
Listen to
Oh,
me. I have no idea what happened between 1980 and 1990. I have no
Oh my
clue.
God.
I had a great time, but I don't know what happened at all.
yeah. Yeah.
I didn't
But I
dare
lived to
act like that
tell
right
about
now.
it,
My
whatever happened
children would be
was.
amazed.
Yeah.
It's just no idea.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
No, but
No.
it's part of me.
Yeah, it
There you
doesn't
go.
matter at all what happened or
We
what
all
didn't
have our
happen.
little, you know. So ladies, we're at 3:34. I don't think we're going to have time to open the floor for readings, but so we've been having this conversation. Um, I still have that poem I'm going to share when we end the show. But before we go, I want to make sure that we had shared everything that it is, kind of like a bit of a wrap up. If there was anything else with between us talking, if that brought up any other thoughts or ideas that people in chat want to share, or Sabrina, Nancy, that you want to share.
Well, when I was shuffling my deck, a card flew out. This was before the show started, and I love it. And it's Seek Wonder.
Mm, dragonfly.
And I think that kind of slows us down as we seek when we open our eyes. And I'm all about hugging trees in the
Me
energy,
too.
what it does to you. I mean, you can feel uh, Mother Earth's energy, and I love it.
I know at the park that I go to, you can see some trees at Lithia Park that have been hit in the past by lightning because their trunk is all charred, but some of them are still growing. And when I see some of those, I try to stop and put my hand on there to say, I hope my little bit of energy helps heal any remaining scars or hurt from that, So just want to put that in there when you said that. What about you, Sabrina?
I, of course, have something to say.
Good.
Good. Yes.
All right. Well, you know
Please.
what's interesting? This is one of my favorite goddesses. I love Egyptology, but I have a few decks out here because I didn't know quite what we were going to do. So this is from these are goddess
Susan
knowledge
Saddam Boulay.
cards.
Yeah, I have that deck.
And when I looked over, I could not even believe this card was on top because I shuffled and cleared the decks. But in anyway, so if you
Bust.
but you know it is. So this is Bastet or Bast. This is the Egyptian goddess who appeared in cat form. She was the Egyptian goddess of joy and dance. So if you'll, I'm just going to go ahead and read the back of this card. And if anybody wants, I'll hold it up here. Heather, I don't know if you know you're gone, but you are.
Yeah,
So,
I had to get up because I wanted to pick something up and share it with you and everybody.
Bass, there it is.
Here's my little Bastet statue.
If anybody wants a screenshot of the back of this, I'll just hold it there for a second, but this is great. So, all right. Bast or Bastet or Pasht, it was another name, was the Egyptian goddess who appeared in cat form. The Egyptians highly revered cats because they were super smart.
Mhm.
The word for cat, ma, M-A-U, also denoted light and was cognate with the word for mother. The cat is a lunar animal. Man, does this fit in or what? Don't you love how the cards just fit in?
Yes,
It's crazy.
most definitely.
Okay, so the cat was a lunar animal and also a solar animal representing the power of the sun as reflected in nature. Since the cat is an earth animal, Bast is also an earth mother goddess, a giver of life and abundance. In touch with her wild, instinctual nature, she is also a protector of women during childbirth. Like a cat, she is fiercely independent and belongs to no one but herself. Bast is one of the more joyful goddesses. Her elaborate festivals in the town of Babustas, I have no idea if I said that right.
Yeah, that was all dedicated
Babustas
to
were
her.
renowned for their joyful dancing. Embodying a cat's gentler aspects, Bast is a personification of life and fruitfulness. The quintessential life-affirming mother, she reminds us to be playful and relaxed like a cat and to find occasions to celebrate life.
I wanted to, Heather, what did you show? Because I was getting at something I wanted to show everybody. I missed it.
I just got my statue of.
Beautiful, beautiful. I put an Egyptian deck in this box, and this is what I put on it.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you need my address to send that to me, Nancy? Thank you so much. What's the Egyptian deck in there? Art Nouveau Tarot. Oh my.
And this
I
is
might need that.
this is the these are the backs. I absolutely, I have quite a few Egyptian decks, but I love the imagery on this one. This is the Fool.
Nice, with the cat stepping off the
Mhm.
ledge.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just oh, okay, and here's the devil. We've been talking about the devil.
Interesting.
Yeah, and see, those people can get away. He's just looking down
Yeah,
like, how
yeah,
dumb
yeah,
are you? Get out of here. You're
yeah,
not bound by anything. It's just a
yeah.
hoax.
But this is a beautiful deck, but I wanted to put it in a beautiful box, so I found
That
it.
is beautiful. The
Yeah.
Egyptian Art Nouveau Tarot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's been on my list too for a while. Definitely have
Yeah.
to get that.
Yeah, the list price on it says $24.95, but I did not pay that. I'm not. I can't remember.
I
But
gotta put that in my notes here.
yeah, because and then I ordered something and they sent an extra card and I put on the front of it the Temple of Anuket, Thrive. I see golden opportunity, so I've got that on the front of the box. Yeah.
It's $21.30 on Amazon.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure I got it on Amazon.
And that was one of the first temples that the Romans destroyed, coming into Egypt, especially with the onset of Christianity, was Bos's temple.
Mm-hmm.
There's very little left of it, except for
Yeah.
a few. And I didn't even know it existed until I watched the video a couple months back during the summer. And I said, I had no idea that they even had a whole temple system, for her. So, yeah, that's very sad. So, well, if your ladies are all set, I'm just going to end with the poem that I wrote. And then,
yes.
We'll just, and I apologize because I thought we would have time for readings, but we had such a wonderful conversation that time just, flew right by.
Yeah, it did.
So
We'll have to have a repeat.
Yes,
Segment where we just pretty much do readings. We could do that. Sabrina's a lot busier than I am, so I don't know when she can.
And don't you forget it.
But that opening reading was amazing. So thank you, Lace, for and thank you, Sabrina, for having that idea to open up the show with a reading. So that because a lot of times even our collective readings all end up being individual ones will be a collective. So I think we can all take from those cards that we had in the beginning. So well, before I do this, Sabrina, is there anything coming up on your channel that you want to share?
Just the stuff I've already shared. I'm going to be, I gotta think a minute. I think when I'm on Susan Lynn's, that's for her members only. She has 2 different channels and I'm on one of them, and she brings in guest speakers for her members. I'm on with Sherry, Voices from the Swamp.
Oh, great.
On Saturday night, I think that's November 8th.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, November 8th, and that's at 9 p.m. my time, 11. It's the slumber party. It's 11 p.m. November 8th. And then I'm on again with Bobby Wild Raven Tarot. And he's interviewing me, and that's
behind the cards. Yep.
Behind the cards. Oh, that's amazing. He gets all kinds of information you don't plan on
so he's gonna drag it all out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's very good at his questions. He's very
he's excellent. He's wonderful.
We've all
I just uploaded him and I did a show, was it a week ago? Tuesday? Yeah, I just uploaded that video. I just got it. So we had some fun. But yeah, so if you guys want to set up something, Monday doesn't normally work for me. Today was a weird.
Well, my Fridays are always open now.
Yeah.
So a
Yeah.
Friday night, maybe. Nancy's joined me in the past for a Friday
Mhm.
show. I used to have a regular guest, but we've gone on ways for now. So it's always nice to have a guest join me on a Friday. It's more fun doing a show with somebody than kind of sitting there by yourself talking to the screen. So
well, let's we can figure that out together, and
Yeah.
maybe set something up, and yeah.
So Nancy, you. Oh, sorry.
I'm done.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to interrupt. Nancy, do you have anything coming up this week besides
I
Sunday with
don't
Scott?
think I do. Probably on Sunday, I'll read with Scott at 7 p.m.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm not sure. Sometimes that changes. But I want to hear your poem.
Yeah, we're waiting
Well,
for the poem.
well, I just want to make sure everybody got
Yeah.
their business out there. And again, all of Sabrina's information is in the description box below, including Nancy's too, if you want to reach Nancy for a reading as well. So this is still
That's right,
a little.
Garnet. This Spanx is a cat.
Yep. They're thinking of like a lion type cat, a lioness.
Mhm.
So this is still a little rough. So bear with me.
I love Heather's poetry.
Well, I got to bring back a poetry show. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
you do.
So, alrighty. Let me get grounded here. Who are you? I am everything. I'm whomever I desire to be. Humanity labels me beyond belief. I'm the quilt that is flesh in which I take pleasure in of my own or with another. I'm in the ancient memories of your DNA and the marrow within your bones. I am maiden, mother, queen, and crone, as well as son, father, king, and sage. Falling oak leaves and unfurling blossoms, petals soft, some sharp with thorns, and when dried to herbs, alchemized into an elixir to anoint, drink, and libate into a sacred fire. I'm the nurturing mother, sister, grandmother, aunt, whom freely chooses in her if her womb gives birth, whose blood spills with life or on the battlefield in death. I live within each and every one of you, sometimes hidden amongst your shadows, shrouded in shame, guilt, and fear. Who put me there? What is all but left? Remnants of temples built in my honor, statues statues perlustrating my oh my goodness, that's a tough one. Statues perlustrating my sovereignty. My power has been vilified, repressed, and oppressed. We're the ones who fought back. Though I've been burned, beaten, and broken by hand, literature, art, and song, just like dawn, my light shines through scar tissue, history, and stories kept safe, hidden, and regenerating within the folds of my dark cloak of night. This trail of tears left behind like breadcrumbs to find your way home to me. Children, femininity is a birthright, genderless, like roots connecting to me, Mother Earth. We are all a part of the woven web, laced with softness, compassion, vulnerability, passion, anger, and strength. And that's as far as I got. So I need some reworking.
Oh, Heather, I closed my eyes and I could just see it. Beautiful, beautiful.
It needs
My
to be.
And just perfect for the whole show.
I like going back and reworking little things, but yeah. So
Yeah, she does. She does
thank
that.
you.
She'll be tweaking that for 2 years.
I don't think for 2 years, but
I don't know, Heather.
that came out. I just needed to today. So
It was absolutely beautiful. Thank you.
thank you. And thank you, Sabrina, for joining Nancy and I. It was serendipity that you had this Monday off so that you can
Yes.
join us. It was universe provided. So, and Nancy, again, as always, thank you for being my my co-host with me. So everybody, thank you in chat for being here. Again, make sure to check out Sabrina's channel, her website, subscribe, like, even a comment after the show, even a little emoji, and we will all see you on our next show. Thank you again, everybody.
Thank you so much
Bye,
for having
everybody.
me.
And thank you, Sabrina, again.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. It was our pleasure. Bye-bye, everybody.